You're listening to the AFTERBUZZ TV network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Keith Johnson.
The AFTERBUZZ Studios in Los Angeles, California. Presented by Maria Menounos and Bing.com and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies. This is AFTERBUZZ TV's Arrested Development After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AFTERBUZZ TV's Arrested Development After Show.
Hello, everyone. Bing is for doing, and tonight we are doing another episode of Arrested Development, Season 4, Episode 14. What's it called? Off the Hook. I'm your host, Cathy Kelley, and joining me tonight is the lovely Roxy Striar.
Hello, happy to be here.
And
better call me lovely.
Our executive producer, the absolutely lovely Phil Svitek.
I feel so honored to be sitting next to the lovely.
He's like a celebrity here at AFTERBUZZ TV.
Our own
Only
Rebel
at
Ally.
AFTERBUZZ TV.
Only at AFTERBUZZ TV. So, a Buster episode. We've been waiting
for it. You know, when the season started for me first, I was like, when's the Maybe episode? When's the George Michael episode coming up? And then I was, you know, we obviously kind of got those, and I was like, what about Buster? And
Buster
here it
is hilarious. And we got a lot of references back to season 1 through 3, which I always appreciate.
My favorite, yeah.
Yeah. A lot of hand and hook references, a lot of seal references.
And his relationship with Lucille developed, well, both Lucille's, good and bad.
Loose seals or Lucille's?
Lucille. L-U-I.
Okay. Okay. So we also learn about Tres de Cinco, which is the day before Cinco de Cuatro, and all that. But this is the episode where Buster's really finding himself and figuring out what to do without either of the Lucille's.
Kind of. This is like, Buster's always insane, but we see him really lose it this episode.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, I mean, it's ironic that we're talking about he only loses it in this episode, because I feel like he always loses it, but we've never scrutinized him in that sense. He's always been pretty messed up.
I mean, the ultimate low moment in somebody's life has to be when you're naked sitting at a sewing machine. Like, I've never seen something more degrading than that moment.
I'm sure that's happened a lot when people are trying to fix their clothes, like they rip a seam or something, and they just take it off and
But it wasn't
sewing.
like he was just like, he was like curled up in a dark room.
It's probably a more common occurrence than you would
talking
think.
and like shaking back and forth. It was like a victim of abuse or something.
Hugging the fake Lucille on the couch. Creepy.
With all the martini glasses that he had filled.
Yeah. So we start off the episode right back at the end of where season 3 left off. We see him conquering his fear of boats. He falls over the side of the ship that all the Bluths are on for the party, faces a loose seal, and about 400 witnesses see him get thrown over the boat.
So they can't lie.
They can't lie.
Which the Bluths hate.
Yes.
Because what do they love? To lie.
Yes. So we learn why Buster missed Lucille's trial, because we saw pretty much why everyone else had missed the trial, but Buster was supposed to be there.
He was so close.
And he was sabotaged.
By Lucille, too.
By Lucille, too. She did not want him to make the trial.
She juiced him.
And juiced him. He went on a juice binge, which is kind of like his version of alcohol.
Which is hysterical because now the biggest trendy crave in LA is this juice cleanse thing. So Buster, just trendy.
But that's not the process to sugared up juice that she was giving him.
Yeah, no, his like high C for kids or whatever.
He got so crazy, he was drinking straight from the box.
I know. That's when you know you're off the rocker or off the hook, should I say.
Yeah. And I love when he does go over to Lucille 2's, he says something about Lucille, And Ron Howard, narrating, says, before you skip back too far and wind up in the middle of the maybe episode, trust me, he did not say 2.
I noticed right away. That makes me clever, right?
What?
That he did not say 2.
I noticed that he did not say 2, but I wanted to rewind just because she asked him, and then I found that hilarious that they incorporated that in there.
Because if they had not, how many people would have gone back and rewind? So many. Rewound.
Oh, I rewound because of that.
Really?
Yeah. I liked it.
You'll pause or rewind at anything you can, Cathy Kelley.
Yes, I will. Just because there's so many things that I feel like in every episode you don't pick up the first time.
Oh, of course. Every poster, everything that we see, every box of saltines.
So with the Lucille relationship, because of Behind the Candelabra that just came out, it kind of reminds me of where Lucille 2 is Liberace, and he's like the Scott Thorson.
A lot of people don't know what Behind the Candelabra is.
All right, so Liberace, right? He quote adopted Scott Thorson, but they had a sexual relationship, and so it's ironic. That's what Buster really wants. He wants a mother-son relationship. Yet Lucille 2 wants a sexual relationship. So it kind of reminds me of that. So check that.
There's a lot of incest in this family, as we've talked about, and that is another
incestual bit.
Yes, I mean he's still a man-child.
Wait, what does he call himself? A mama man. He's no longer a mama boy.
Mother lover.
No, he's a mother. He's a mother man now.
Yeah.
Not a mother boy.
So, Buster is shunned by Lucille Bluth, and he tries to visit her in jail multiple times. She rejects him every time. He even goes as far as to dress up as one of her former lovers, Alex Trebek.
Well, before he dresses up as Alex Trebek, he dresses up as John
Yes.
Kennedy, and the amazing part with half the testicle hanging out. And he has the weird, he says, good, I'm glad they saw it. It was like a mother boy ball. And then we know he's really lost it.
Yeah.
And that outfit reappears a couple times. And like the box of saltines, Lucille's serving 3 to 5. So yes, he goes to visit her.
Yeah. And I love the who is Alex Trebek.
Yeah. Exactly.
Reference to Jeopardy.
And they each call each other a hot mess, which we got a couple episodes ago when they're watching TV together, and they both like make the mental note they like the term hot mess for each other. Mm-hmm. So I love how they pulled that back too.
Yeah. So Buster has this downward spiral while Lucille is gone, ends up making her, martini after martini after martini, ends up sewing a fake version of her.
He even makes her fat.
It's very
makes her fat, makes her skinny.
It's very Psycho-esque, Norman Bates style.
Oh, completely Psycho. And I don't even know how to explain it. The progression in this scene was hilarious. Then we find out that it happened over a span of like 2 days.
Yeah, and he said that. That was funny. But it convinces him to go do something crazy where he's going back to the army.
Well, first... oh, yeah, I guess we can go straight to that. I was going to say that first he can't bear to go back to the penthouse after the whole Alex Trebek thing and Lucille not wanting to see him. So he also ends up leaving Lucille two's because he realizes what happened, and he has to make money somehow. First, he tries to sell off some valuables at the pawn shop, where we see in the background there's an episode of Locker Hawkers playing on the TV.
And it's the episode edition, Something Smells Terrible in Here. Definitely have a prediction about that later.
Do you want to say it now?
Mm-mm. I'm going to make you wait.
All right.
Can I predict what you're going to predict? Mm-hmm. That it's Jove?
Predictions.
We will see.
Okay.
What a tease.
So he ends up seeing a sign, join the army, make her proud. Buster does. And he decides this is what he's going to do. Turns out it's the same day that Don't Ask, Don't Tell was lifted, and everyone is coming out. I'm gay. I'm gay.
I'm bi.
No.
No,
You're
just
gay.
bi.
Bye.
No, I'm gay. Just saying bye.
And then Buster says, perfecto. I love that in the scene. Just a reference to that as well. Lucille 2's other son.
Sparky has something to say.
We forgot to introduce Sparky Bark. He was trying to get our attention.
Sparky Bark is new to AfterBuzz TV, and yes, he is a dog, and yes, he is a rescue dog. So he's getting to he's shadowing us today.
He's getting acclimated to AfterBuzz TV. So, yes.
Thanks, Sparky.
You can find pictures of him online.
Anyway.
What else could you do online?
Online, well, if you have this little thing called iTunes, you can type in AfterBuzz TV, find all of our after shows on there, including the Arrested Development after show. Go there, subscribe, rate and comment, tell a friend.
But what if I want to see your beautiful faces and I want to see them the second that they are on?
Well, if you want to see us live, you can go over to AfterBuzzTV.com. We have a new and improved website where you can watch all of our videos, find all of our after shows, watch us live.
And while we're at it, what about this movie you guys have been talking about?
This movie?
I hear there's a really funny movie. It actually has one of the characters from Arrested Development, Henry Winkler. I think he narrates.
Yes.
Yeah, he does a much better job than Ron Howard, I will say.
And a much better job than us right now. But there's a movie out called The Adventures of Serial Buddies. Our creators, Maria Menounos and Kevin Undergaro, slaved over this movie. It is absolutely hilarious. And Phil Svitek also helped a little bit. I'm just kidding. He had a huge role in this film, producing it, and then he also has a couple cameos, but there's an all-star cast. Kathy Lee Gifford is in it, Artie Lang, Henry Winkler, as we mentioned, Beth Bayers, Marie Menounos herself, Christopher Lloyd. The list goes on and on and on and on. It's absolutely hilarious. You can find it on iTunes. I think you can rent it for $4.99, buy it for $5.99.
I mean, that's just a deal in itself.
Definitely a deal.
Worth your time, baby.
I mean, here's the
Too
thing.
good a deal to pass up.
Combine those two prices, and most things that you buy are even like more than that.
You can rent it and buy it, and it's still less expensive than other movies.
There you go.
But better quality.
Better quality.
We want you. Big hand.
We got a guys come on from the back. Someone's angry. So.
And back to Arrested Development.
There is. Let's talk about the drone pilot. That Buster becomes a drone pilot in Anaheim, of all places, at a
mini mall.
And
if you were wondering if the place he's a drone pilot validates for Quiznos parking, they don't.
no, because we rewound and found the sign. We do not validate for Quiznos parking. This is the first known injury of a drone pilot after Buster plays this game for 47 straight hours. He realizes that it is not just a game. He is actually killing guilty people, which does not bode well on his confidence.
But because of this, he deserves a big hand. And for that, they're going to give him one.
Yes. So he has this injury, ends up getting rushed to the hospital. The first time the paramedics at the base are called because they don't have many injuries for maybe some carpal tunnel or something, but nothing too serious. So they take him, and of course we get the doctor that we've seen so many seasons before. He says, "Lucille, your son went down while he was piloting a plane over Afghanistan. He deserves a big hand, and we all gave him one."
Which is true.
Yes.
And then, of course, Lucille ends up recognizing him later. But while she's in there, they kind of have this heart-to-heart moment. And it was hard, but Lucille's trying to let Buster let him off the leash and have him go, whereas she says she needs him to get away.
I love the reference to the Getaway song.
And she says it's as if they wrote that song for my own son, which, of course, is a huge LOL because they did.
Yes.
Just the other son.
Different son. Job.
Wrong son. Job.
And then I love the part where she says, "I'm glad you have a new hand, Buster, but you're going to need to get someone else to hold it." And
so he does exactly that.
Tell the prison limo to come around.
Right, because life's so tough for her.
Yes. So Buster starts rehabilitation for his new big hand. He ends up, breaking a lot of stuff, getting toothpaste everywhere.
And then he does the Q test.
And then he does the Q test, where they realize that Buster's faking because he has nowhere else to go. So they put him up against the Q test, which is the cutest little kitten. They have him hold it in his big hand. He obviously doesn't squash it, and so they discharge him from the army. Where then Buster meets Ophelia Love, Herbert Love's wife, who he has been cheating on with Buster's sister, Lindsay.
Yep. The redhead, the smoke show.
More incest. So, Buster came in handy to the entire Love family. I love that pun. He ends up getting the attention of Perfecto as he escorts the Love children to school.
Because it's light drizzle and thunder.
Yes. So he supports the anti-bullying campaign that Perfecto has been leading. He also ends up having a relationship with Mother Love.
Mm-hmm. But it's, you know, going back to the last episode with George Michael, it's kind of ironic, you know, where he has an affair with the Spanish woman that he's kind of babysitting for her kids, and you have this situation.
Did either of you guys pick up on the Homeland reference? Or I thought it was a Homeland reference. So Buster's hand keeps twitching.
Yeah.
He's standing right next to Herbert Love. And that's the same kind of scene where in Homeland he's standing right next to the president and his hand keeps twitching because he's doing signals
Signs,
to the terrorists.
Yeah, that's a good call.
Yeah.
So he ends up being the blindside monster, and like you're saying, he ends up having a relationship with Ophelia.
Yeah.
And the line that he says is, "That's so funny, no smoke came out." Wait, what just happened?
They kiss.
So he's very confused because usually when he kisses his mother, it's because she needs him to blow the smoke out of the door.
Yeah.
But this is a
Disgusting.
real life kiss.
Yeah. So another thing that happened during one of his stints helping out the Love family is Herbert Love is at a campaign event and someone throws a shoe at him, which is very reminiscent to George W. Bush when a reporter threw a shoe at him. I think an Italian reporter. And then we see Buster at Herbert Love's campaign event the same night that Schnoodle's event is going on and the Opie Awards are going on. We hadn't seen it from Buster's perspective yet, so we weren't really aware that he was there. But Marky Bark, the blue bomb goes off, and Buster just hides.
And Buster has found out that Ophelia wants to give Love a second chance, so he steals the photos of Love and Lindsay.
The prostitute.
Right.
That is actually a sister. So Ophelia kicks Buster out, and he's losing a girlfriend and a mother.
That's a hard hit.
Yeah. 2 people. It's so creepy to even talk about.
I know, it's a 2-for-1 special.
Yes. So I love, it was just like The Blind Side. Buster was blindsided and walked out like Charlie Brown, which we see so many times throughout the season.
I was missing that. My impression of it.
So Buster ends up punching a picture of Love with his wrong hand, slices his hand open, and then says, "Dumb Buster," slaps himself with the big hand, knocks himself out, and he is completely out of commission for Cinco de Cuatro. He
Right,
comes
but then,
to...
So when he does get there, he finds Lucille too to give her the pictures, and he finds out that Lucille too had tricked him into the juice, which he didn't really know. And if you notice on the juice box, when in the flashback, there's a drawing of an ostrich and a woman that looks exactly like Lucille too. And it says, "What happens when you stick your head in the sand? Don't be surprised if someone uses you as a footstool." And Lucille's too, or the image that looks like her, is sitting on top of the ostrich, which is supposedly Buster.
Yes. And it kind of looked like Buster in the first drawing, the top drawing.
Yep, yep.
So, along with that, Tobias approaches Buster at Cinco de Cuatro, asks him to be the Thing in his production of the Fantastic Four musical. Buster kind of agrees, and he says, "Perfecto." Another reference to that. Perfecto overhears and asks Buster to stand up to a real bully who's taking money from his high school girlfriend, maybe. And that real bully is Love's campaign manager in Love. Mm-hmm. So.
And then we see Jean Parmesan for a minute.
Yes.
Pop out of nowhere.
So we see the whole, we've known pretty much all season long that at Cinco de Cuatro, some major stuff happens. Lucille 2 disappears and Love gets beat up. So we get a little idea of what actually went down. It looks like Buster hit Love with his big hand, thunder hand.
And did enough to put Love into a coma.
Yes.
So, dangerous hand, the army has made themselves a monster.
And I don't know if you noticed this reference, but before, when Buster originally got his big hand, he was talking to Lucille, and she said, "Why is it so big?" And he said, it'll shrink in size, just takes a while. It's kind of like your old cell phone. Now they're smaller. Later in the episode, we see he said, "Of course, I get this big hand a week later, the 6 came out." And he's referencing the iPhone 6,
yeah.
which I thought was hilarious. So
And it comes with a flute.
Yes. He ends up blindsiding Love.
Should have come with a wood block.
Juiced up Buster notices Lucille on the stair car,
But then she's gone.
and then she disappears.
in a flash.
But he notices that he's on camera. So he tries to erase the footage because he knows the guy at the tower
Right, in the next episode.
using fake block, which is just,
Doesn't exist.
And has some weird dancing things he does in there.
yes. So, predictions.
You stole mine. You knew it.
I'm sorry.
I made everybody wait. But of course, yep, we see the Locker Buster. I mean, what is it called? Locker Buster? Locker, the show? Locker Busters.
You have it on page 2.
Locker
Lockers. Locker Hawkers.
Locker Hawkers. And then it says, yeah, Locker Hawkers. Something smells terrible in here. Of course, I think it's Job,
Yes.
who's stuck in the box.
Who's a bird. Yes.
Who's a bird.
Because he was like acting like a bird when he was pecking up all the red vines.
Are we going to get a real bird moment?
Are we
gonna get
one on
one?
the after show next?
I need one in the finale.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be, I don't know.
I'm so phenomenally excited for the finale.
Talk to me about where Lucille 2 is.
Lucille too. Obviously, I don't think that Buster hurt her because when he went over there, she was already laying on the stairs. I don't know. I feel like there's a bad thing with Sally Sitwell because we know that she's not that great a person after we saw her.
And she has incentive because then it could be her versus Portia de Rossi.
Here's what I'm upset about, and I would love to see in the finale. You know, if Michael's kind of the through line for all of these and has been since season 1, this whole film idea, I thought it would be, you know, at the end of it, he would get all the signatures, and all of a sudden this explains how we're going to have an Arrested Development movie. And so what worries me is that Michael's been ripping these apart. Like, okay, you're out of the movie. You're out of the movie.
Yeah.
So who's in this movie?
I'm hoping he's making copies of them and just doing it for effect.
It's going to turn into a TV series, I think.
I think it would make a great, it would probably make a really good show.
Yeah.
But we still need the releases to make anything.
I think so. So yeah, any other predictions?
Well,
I'm missing our prediction music. What's going on in the booth without our prediction music?
And now,
Thank you.
TV.
Although
I think now we just need the music.
I just like it, you know?
Yeah.
It's just good to have. Feels like home. But I don't have any more predictions.
Okay. Well, I think that Rebel is going to pick Michael in the end over George Michael. George Michael, I hope will end up with maybe.
And that will soften the blow of Rebel breaking up with him.
Yes. I think he'll still be mad at his father. But his father's also mad at him, so it'll equal out.
Yeah, but Michael's already stolen George Michael's girls before, so it's...
Well, not as recently as Job stole who? Plant?
Who?
Anne?
Yeah.
Get it?
I think we will get to the bottom of that. I've heard mixed reviews on the finale.
I know, me too.
So
We'll
I
make our
really
own
hope
decision.
it's good. We are going to be here Wednesday night talking about it.
Well, you'll be here with
Yes.
Nando.
Unfortunately, Roxy and Alina will not be here. Hopefully, Phil will join us. Sparky Bark, I'm sure, will be here as
I'll do
well.
my
It's not
best to call
Sparky
in.
Bark, by the way. It's just Sparky
For this
Svitek.
show,
Sparky Svitek.
he is
Sparky
Sparky
Bark.
Bark.
Yeah,
His
see,
name-
look at that.
His name when Phil adopted him was actually Marky, and
Okay.
Phil changed it.
Oh my
Could've been
God, you're gonna get
Marky
this dog all confused.
Yes.
Marky
All right.
Sparky.
Anyway, follow
want
Cathy
Oreo.
at Catherine Kelley on Twitter, Cathy Kelley on Instagram, Roxy Striar on Twitter, Roxy
know all
World on
this?
Instagram.
I think that
And
we
follow us
need
at
fake
AfterBuzz
block.
TV.
We need fake block.
From Bing.com, executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff. We would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AFTERBUZZTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AFTERBUZZ TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.